Bonġu, Malta and Gozo. The Mosta local council has announced a U-turn on its idiotic decision to transplant 12 ficus trees, a bittersweet victory for civil society.
The damage that has been caused to these birds, the white wagtails, is something which we can't remedy at this point.
And it's only the votes that count. You just see, in one day, everything was reversed.
It is time that we wipe out this local council from both sides, because both sides, PN and PL, agreed.
This and more now in Bonġu News. The government should bring large trees in pots to Mosta Square for birds to roost there, BirdLife Malta CEO Max Sultana said.
I think today we won the symptom of the problem because the problem is still there. There are a lot of things that needs changing in this country, but what we saw today is also the fact that people care. The communities care about nature, about biodiversity, and they expect more from the people that are leading this country, being the politicians and also the mayor and the local council. We are very disappointed with this decision, but we are also happy that at least we managed to change the wrong into a right. The damage that has been caused to these birds, the white wagtails, is something which we can't remedy at this point. We are asking the ministry to try and bring over in the site large trees in pots to at least have a bit of refuge for these birds. As we go along during November and even December, these birds will keep on increasing. So the ones that are still arriving from Europe will be still coming here to find refuge. Unfortunately, at this stage, they might not, and if the weather is severe, they will die. So this is on the responsibility of the Ministry of ERA and also the local council. So we are asking them to remedy the situation by somehow or another bringing massive trees in the area until the end of the year.
Mosta resident Sam Fennick told me that in his town it's not only about trees, but also roadworks that have been going on for years.
I feel that having these 12 trees remaining in place, we're not asking for the local council or authorities to give us more trees. Obviously, the more, the merrier. But we're talking about the very basic here, the foundation of every locality. That's something really important, like to leave these 12 trees here, not to give us more, but at least to leave these 12 trees here. So I think this was a situation which was quite a bit blown out of proportion. I don't think we had to go through this situation this week in the last couple of days. And I believe that every person in the locality, we have the right to enjoy trees, and apart from trees, also the surroundings of Mosta. Trees, this is the situation right now, but I believe that trees is a representation of a bigger problem. So if we take a look around, there are much bigger problems, not just the trees. The trees were a very big problem, but the construction works and the road works, they've been taking years and years. I've lost count of the number of years that they have been going on. And the issue with traffic management is very problematic here. If you speak to the shop owners, everyone has and shares the same sentiment. Unfortunately, the businesses here in Mosta, they are not coping well. I mean, they've been struggling in the last years, and this is a very big problem. So we're not talking about a COVID problem, but now people are being kept away from the locality or finding it really hard to commute through Mosta because of this situation that we're in. So I hope the situation changes, and I hope the people who are in charge to make these decisions will get this message and get things done the way they should be done.
Independent politician Arnold Cassola felt reminded of the fight for a public inquiry into the death of Jean-Paul Sophia.
Well, this is proving how much civil society and the voice of public opinion is heard, and it's only the votes that count. You just see, in one day, everything was reversed. It's exactly the same mechanism of the Jean-Paul Sophia inquiry. With the hard-headedness, with the heart of a mother, she managed to change and reverse the big-headedness of the Prime Minister and bring into fruition the public inquiry. And this time it was much faster because people are screaming and shouting, and politicians have to hear. I think this proves and this shows how much A third voice is needed in Parliament, in local councils, in European Council, in the European Parliament. We need to keep on pressing, and we must thank people like Graffiti and others who are ready to sacrifice their time for these ideals, which are common property, which belong to all of us, and which many do not appreciate, but they do appreciate after seeing the sacrifice of these people.
What do you think? Is Malta becoming a country that's driven by civil society and court decisions?
I think civil society is being heard much more now. It's being heard much more, but unfortunately it can be too late. I am not happy, and I don't say thank you either to the mayor or to all the local councillors, whether nationalists or Labour, because they all voted in favour. And now I won't say thank you after they destroyed half of these trees, and now they give me 1/4 back. Sorry, I'm not Fantozzi. I don't say thank you for beating me and then curing me with some medicine. No, we need to preserve nature, we need to preserve life around us, and not because just we can see that we can get political gain and money out of these things, forget the quality of life of normal people in our country.
ADPD chairperson Sandra Gauci has strong words for Mosta's local council and its initial decision to transplant the trees.
This is definitely a way of managing by crisis every single decision. When you take decisions haphazardly, like this one of uprooting these trees, which in the main project it wasn't written down, this is what happens. But the will of the people won over the power game of the local council. It is time that we wipe out this local council from both sides, because both sides, PN and PL, agreed on having these trees uprooted. And also, let's not forget that there are trees on the other side where these ficus had to be placed, which were uprooted because they were thought to be ill. But how ill they were. So this is not the way to manage a local council. This is not the way to take decisions.
And that's it for now. A quick look at the weather forecast. Mainly sunny, 24 degrees. What a November. Have a lovely day.